The best bowler you've ever bowled with?
What a question. Far too many to be fair, and so I will have to include a few and
Okay,
leave out many who should be included, no doubt. Well, over Stevie Halme, Gary Smythe, Richard Roylands, Steve Stokely, Simon G, a young Perry Cook. I remember the first time I saw him, he came in as a number 2 in my ring. A young Norman Worley, and Richards, George Hayward, Bill McIntosh, Peter Line of Hampshire. Played an outside or he asked me to play him in an outside uh, con competition. And of course, my old mate, sadly missed friend, Kenny Allen. I've left out loads of guys, but
okay.
just too many.
So, the best bowler you've ever played against?
Christ. Again, too many, but
Does one stand out in particular from a different
well,
county?
yeah, but played against the fantastic Andy Thompson. Must be
Okay,
included. A lovely and humble guy given his record. One that sticks out early in my career was Alan Windsor of
okay,
Surrey, an England skip at the time, who we played in the Middleton Cup on a very fast screen in Surrey. We absolutely out-bowled them, their front three, but he played unbelievable drawing, running and firing shots, and I thought, "Oh, this is the standard." The other one, not to go on, but again, early in my career, when we were getting all excited, or I was getting all excited about getting into semi-finals of comps, we played against Reg Penn
okay. Yeah,
in the semi-final of the 40th century. And Reg was an international skip at the time. And although under pressure, he taught us a lesson that day. And anybody who knew Reg was a very quiet and thoughtful guy on the green, and I love the guy off the green. So I've missed loads, but to try and answer your question
okay. So, your biggest regret in bowls?
for a lot. Not winning the Middleton Cup during a halcyon period when Middlesex had so much talent. Uh, Not getting to a county singles final,
Okay,
having got to the semis 7 or 8 times, and despite winning open singles competitions like the one I mentioned at Worthing. Getting beat in the semi-final of the National Fours at Worthing, despite beating some top fours from Kent, Bucks and Oxford. My rink that day was an 18-year-old Norman Worley leading Alan Harmon 2 and Richard Bennett. I mean, how Norman never get selected for the under 25 during that period always amazes me. But anyway, that evening, the evening before the semi-finals, I only had a couple of drinks
okay,
after we won the quarterfinal, and Norman and Alan, of course, were non-drinkers. Richard did,
okay,
and we agreed to meet at the Egremont the following morning, where Richard was staying, but he couldn't get him out of bed.
okay.
His wife was crying, "Yeah, you won't go out of bed." So I forget who it was, maybe Alan Armin went up and dragged him out of bed,
Right.
and he was in a daze the whole day. And you'd have thought, honestly, he had never bowled in his life. But R.I.P. Richard, he was a real character.
Brilliant. And then, so your obviously the biggest achievement for you in bowls that you've achieved.
I'd say playing over 100 Middleton Cup games, I mean, consecutively is a big achievement, and that's one that I cherish, apart from everything else. That's, in my opinion, I think is my biggest achievement.